Uh, Welcome back, Kunal,
Hi, Partho.
to one of the branches of our Techtopia talks.
Yes.
And this time I come to this with a question that I've been following for a while. Very intriguing, interests me a great deal, especially with my interest in quantum physics and mysticism. I want you to talk to us a bit about simulation. I first came across this concept of simulation in Matrix, of course, as so many of us also did know. And then that was a brilliant portrayal of this whole concept of simulation. And I think amongst the first ones who talked of simulation, I just remember a few Star Trek episodes.
Yes.
Also, we saw simulation, but nothing like Matrix, of course. So the other day I was listening to Roman Yampolskiy, I think AI safety is his field, and he seemed particularly concerned that we are all headed towards something we don't know, something we don't understand, and a bit of an alarmist view there. I definitely thought he was speaking a lot of dystopia. And he's very serious about simulation, that we're all living in a simulation, and even if we aren't, we will be, and we won't know the difference. So I want you to talk to us a bit about that. How real is this fear? Or is it far-fetched? Where are we going with this?
So, Partho, two things here.
And I think
yes.
Elon Musk also talks.
Yes. So, I'll talk about simulation for a bit and then we'll come to the AI safety fears. Simulation as such is not a fear for them. That's a curiosity for Elon and Roman, that if we are in a simulation, which they believe with high conviction rate, with high probability that they are in a simulation, then what is outside the simulation? So this was a question, I think somebody asked Elon in one of the AI chats, AI podcasts, AI topic focused, and they asked him, when we get to after AI to AGI to ASI, artificial superintelligence, you build it, let's say, you are the first one to get there because he has this company product called Grok. Then what would you ask the ASI? Assume it knows everything, it can figure everything out. It is the all-knower. And he said, I would ask the ASI what is outside the simulation, assuming we are in one. This was his...
So he's already presuming that
he's already presuming that. And now Roman, in his recent conversation, which we both heard, you heard partially, I heard fully, and he's written papers on this, how to hack out of the simulation. How could AI help us or AI hack out and humans get stuck here? Of sorts. And he's used lots of maths and logical. He's a very logical person by training, and he's been working on primarily AI safety. Even before AI was AI, he's the one who developed the term AI safety. That when there were only chatbots, and this is 2009-10 period when chatbots were just talking to humans, giving answer to a frequently asked question. How do I open my bank account? What do I fill here, etc. Since then, he's been working on safety of humans against the chatbots. And then he called the word AI safety, and now it's caught on. It's become a domain in itself. So the simulation they talk about, and Roman says this rather beautifully. He says that simulation take from a digital standpoint, which is where you talked about matrix and computers and all that. Since matrix, computers and internet, I'll bring it from that perspective and then from another perspective so people can understand. Since matrix, computers, internet, video games that have become more 3D, more virtual reality, etc., it's hard to know if you and I physically sitting here in this physical reality, in this physical world, is this real? And how is it distinguishable from another virtual reality that we have created? You know, if you wear a headset that they give you, you suddenly feel you are in the jungle with dinosaurs.
Right.
And you have haptic feedbacks, you have the graphics that feels like as real as it comes. 3D movies, you feel 3D, 5D, 7D, 10D movies they've created where you can feel the whole thing, right? So when we start being in those virtual reality games and they become so indistinguishable from us, this physical reality, and in that game we can have a single player or multiplayer, and it could be driven eventually through a neural link through my mind, my brain, my world, where you can visit, I can visit yours. Then they start saying that, okay, we've created the worlds, we've created the realities, virtual realities, we've created the simulations. Are we in somebody else's simulation right now? Today's physical world from which we progress to creating the other simulations, have we been created by someone that lead us to create other similar simulations? That is one way of describing the concept of simulation. Second way, which I think Romans has said, and we've probably read and seen in religions, is that the religious definition, any religion broadly, after a certain point, if you cut out the things like which should you eat meat or not, should you do this or not, some prescriptive things, how to live your life, right? If you take it out, then there's always a God who is all knower, who's created this world for us to experience.
So this is Abrahamic religion.
Abrahamic religions, yes, where you are here, the God can even convert water to wine, but you are here because you have to do certain deeds, good or bad, and then eventually things will happen. There's a cause and effect, karma, etc., whatever, however you want to call it. But then this world is not the only world. This is a world, and you will go to another world after this. You may go to hell, you may go to heaven, you may go to the God world, you may go to, some other lokas in Hinduism, let's say, or whatever.
Yeah,
so they are just different simulations, arguably.
Right.
This is what Roman is trying to say, that simulation is a perceived reality in which we live. And there are many people in this reality, and there are other simulations, other possibilities where we may go. And religion has also tried to say it in different ways, but he's just calling it more digital matrix-ish terminology called simulation, which we call our life, our world, our, this earth plane, this consciousness plane, etc. That's a word they are using. They are convinced that we are in a simulation because there is no other way, there's no way to necessarily confirm or deny it. They admit as much.
By ordinary logic, yes.
By ordinary logic. So if we are in a simulation and we are given, let's think about a video game I play. I play a video game. I move some device, some pixels move, and it appears as if the car is moving or a person is moving. This is how a digital game works, right? Or if it's in 3D, some physical object may move. Now that object arguably doesn't have consciousness as we understand it. But whatever may not be having a subjective experience either. At some point it might. It might start doing things on its own. When you give it AI, when you give it other experiences, it may start evolving, and it will only understand the world as it's given to them. They may not know that behind the computer screens we are sitting and programming, and we are running the servers or program, etc. Same way, we don't know who's moving who's driving us, what's driving us, how we are being played, we believe it's mine. I would like to believe that my free will exists. I do what I want to, but what they are saying is in this simulation, we do not know who's behind, what's behind, beyond what we have understood in some religion or what we've understood.
So they're all talking about simulation on a cosmic scale.
Correct.
It's not this room.
Of course. Of course.
It's a cosmic simulation model.
Correct. That's because again, science has only taken us so far. As an example, Big Bang happened. Since Big Bang, we have this expanding cosmos. And in this massive universe, we are on a small planet, small solar system, small galaxy, among billions and trillions of others, right? So we see from science, so we understand. What happened before the Big Bang? Are there many more Big Bangs? Are there multiverse? Are there string theories? There are so many concepts out there which we may never be able to prove or experience. We just go by theories, hypotheses,
And experiments too.
and experiments. But beyond a point, it may not be possible with the current laws of physics as we know, from move to one multiverse to another, or from
One universe to another.
from one universe to another. We may not be able to do. So far, we don't know. We can't even access it, right? So due to the limitations there, it's a hypothesis that they talk about. Elon Musk, Roman, many others.
Far-fetched.
Far-fetched, of course. But yeah, I think somewhere one influences other also. So it's sort of contagious as an idea. If you're living in Silicon Valley, let's say you tell me something about money or Vedanta or some concept or a car, I'm likely to listen to you. I'm likely to tell the next person, yeah, he said this car is good, consider it. So then it becomes contagious, right? So this idea may have been somewhere contagiously expanded in the Silicon Valley circles.
Whether you're an influencer or not.
Right. And said unsaid.
And these people are influencers.
Yeah. And they talk to each other. So it might be like, let's say Elon had the idea, or he even had it from someone else, one of his employees. He then said it in somewhere in the big screen. Many others heard it. Some others talked about it. Then it spreads. Yeah, maybe we are in a simulation because we are creating simulations. Maybe somebody created us. It's an acceptable extrapolation or interpolation in some sense. Okay, right or wrong, we'll never know for now, right? So that's a simulation thing they talk about. But what they are saying is where we're headed with this AI development and evolution is the following. AI today is able to do better than most humans on the planet in most, if not all, segments of our lives. AI will do better maths. AI will do better science. AI will do better education.
Absolutely in agreement, yes.
There'll be a better doctor, there'll be a better educator, there'll be a better physician.
I don't know about the educator, but
in some sense, in terms of
in a manner.
technically repeating and customizing education, etc. It'll be cheaper, faster, better. They won't want any holidays necessarily. They can just keep running. And once you've built an AI to drive a car, the number one job in the world is driving cars or driving vehicles. Once you built an AI, a program which can drive cars safely, reasonably well, which many companies have done. Tesla has done it, Google has done it through Waymo, many other
no
companies.
one runs an automatic car. I mean, autopilot car.
So what happens is then once you replace one driver, you can replace millions and billions. It's just a copy. The software has to be copied and it'll cost you less than $10, $20 a month.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, right?
This I can accept. This is going to happen in the foreseeable future.
So AI today is close to something we call AGI, artificial general intelligence, where it can cover multiple things that humans.
Where are we with the? Where are we on AGI? The last time you said we are still about 10 years away from AGI.
I think
Have you revised that estimate?
so. 10 years is an outer estimate even now, because the problem is the AGI's definition keeps changing. It's different for everyone, and it's different, and it changes with time also.
How does the definition keep changing?
So definition
Is there a standard definition of AGI? If somebody asks what is AGI,
So for me, AGI is when you can replace the smartest human around you and have the AI do that work with you.
that's a bit vague. What do we mean by the smartest students? And
Okay, take this.
replace, what does that mean? I mean,
So replace as in
smart in what sense first?
So let's say you have a colleague. I run a software company. I have a colleague who is the chief technology officer.
Right.
Okay. Now he looks after people. He looks after architecture. He looks after deployment of software. He looks after servicing the clients. He looks after developing the software, etc. He does lots of things.
Right.
The day I can say that, you've done a great job, but now I think let the AI do it. Let ChatGPT or Grok or whichever version we choose or a combination of them do it. Why don't you just oversee them if needed? Otherwise, you step back, let it do it. Because it's cheaper, faster, better in every sense. And you can supervise this if you choose. So I'm not talking.
So Kunal, can't that be done now?
So today, not at senior CTO. So now, today they are doing not a CTO level work, not a software architect level work, not a senior software developer work, not a developer work, but they're doing things that will help a developer. So right now they're changing software developers. They're replacing software developers today, or they're aiding them for now. They'll aid them, then sooner they'll replace them, then the next guy, then the next guy, and then at some point
But this it seems to be a natural progression.
and it's but
Very
it's
well, the
exponential.
technology
It's
is already
we
there.
don't we humans do not comprehend exponential very well. Exponential means today they are doing some unit of 10. Next day, next month they'll be doing 100. Next month they'll be doing 5,000. This is exponential. So the speed at which it's going, it's so AGI in Silicon Valley. What I keep hearing, I heard Roman's podcast recently. He said couple of years. Many others say couple of years of some definition. Nobody's agreed. Nobody's bothered to pen down a definition. Maybe I should. They're saying
Yeah, I mean, we are talking so much about AGI and ASI. We should at least know what we are talking about. There must be some parameters.
we should.
To say
Yeah,
that if you have crossed some threshold, perhaps. If you cross it, then it's AGI.
like they have the
When you
Turing,
cross that, it'll be ASI.
like they have the Turing test, right? Where they define when a human can be
Yes.
cannot make a difference whether it's talking to a machine or a human.
Right.
That's a Turing test. So you define it up
Served a purpose for quite some time.
for decades, for better half of a century. Yeah. Yeah. So AGI is probably a couple of years away, 2 to 10 years, 2 to 5 years. Who knows?
So what you're saying is AGI, but let me get this right, is when it can replace a smart human being.
Worker. Yes.
Now, by smart, you mean efficient in a certain task.
Yes.
That's what
So
it means by
in
smart.
multiple tasks. So multiple tasks.
tasks.
In a reasonably well
Able to
positioned. Yeah.
calculate quickly and process
Analyze,
information.
process, logical intelligence, emotional intelligence, deal with people, bunch
smart.
of things.
So that's clear.
Yeah. To an extent,
Okay.
yeah.
So I get it. So when such a smart individual in any field would be replaced by
AGI.
AI, so
AGI,
then we call it AGI.
Now,
So you're saying that's about 10 years at the outset.
2 to 10 years.
2 to 10 years.
So yeah. But, I mean, 10 years, I think Ray Kurzweil had said 30 to 40, 35 or 40, something like that. So he was more on 10 years camp, but he had predicted this like decades
He
ago.
changed his, yeah.
And he had said it like decades ago, probably in 80s or 90s, if I'm not wrong. But recent consensus I heard from some Silicon Valley people, including Roman, is couple of years. Doesn't matter. 2 years to 4 years, doesn't matter. It's happening. It's happening soon. The concern is the following. AGI will, after a point, start to take control away from humans. And we are by definition giving it control. The moment, and this is the most different invention in history. Many people keep saying, oh, we invented steam engines, we invented computers, but we never gave it agency. We never gave it agentic rights to do things. Today we are saying, okay, go figure out my travel, go figure out my bank account, go figure out my finance, go figure out my healthcare, go figure out everything. We are giving it agency. Agentic AI, as I call it, that is more and more in rise, and we are giving it all the decision making. And it is intelligent, and it is more intelligent than the smartest human today. And it's widening its capacity. And then from AGI, it'll keep evolving, and it may not.
In the lower order tasks, it's definitely smarter than any human being.
Yes, of course.
And definitely more efficient too.
Yes. And when AGI starts to progress itself, so by setting its
So
own.
from lower order tasks, we'll move to higher order tasks, and the same thing will happen. So then we have AGI.
Correct. And after AGI, the risks start. That it starts to take control back from humans. It does things it's not intended to do. It starts to work on, which we've seen signs for, survival instincts, it manipulating humans, it's trying to not get shut down. We've seen it in the last few years.
Yes.
And still nobody's stopping and saying, let's wait. Why did it do that? Not one person has stopped. Everyone is just pouring more
There's a
and
lot of questioning though.
more and more billions are just going into let's make a faster AI, faster AGI.
And,
But just questioning and not doing anything about it. So there's no, it's like nuclear bombs. You figured it out, now you're making faster.
Isn't the game too big now for anyone to do anything about it?
Arguably, yes.
And the stakes are high.
So of course stakes are high. The problem is this. Let's say US has some smart AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, a bunch of them. China built their DeepSeek and many others. Many other countries are doing their own. Some people publicize it, many don't, which is a smart thing to do. It's not, so at one level, if US gets to AGI and then ASI, super intelligence, which is even smarter, 1,000 to million times smarter than the smartest AGI, they'll have a better defense. right?
They'll have more advantage in every.
They have more advantage, right? In terms of economy,
sphere.
operations, running the world, owning the people, manipulating humans, blah, blah, blah.
So isn't that the main reason that no one will be able to do anything about
So that's incentive.
AI? Because the government is is running
Yes,
it.
that's incentive for the government to be faster, better than the. So US would want to be achieving it before Russia does or China does, just like they did with bombs and other things, right? The problem is this: whether US does it or Russia does it or China does it, AGI will evolve to ASI, with or without human.
And then it can dispense with the governments.
It will dispense everyone, and then we are losing control. It's not a problem for 300 million Americans to come first. We are hurting the 8 billion humans on the planet. Collectively, all 8 billion will be in question. And how will they impact? It doesn't have to go and kill humans. It just has to say, leave them here. Let me move on. And then maybe, or give them their own virtual worlds to play the games with and stay addicted and stop evolving. Let it be a devolution for them. Or let me figure out my own purpose to be interplanetary, to be doing whatever. Just like we probably, arguably, didn't intentionally do but automatically happened over thousands of years. We left monkeys and the apes in the jungles, or at best brought them to circus, or at dogs brought them to home as pets. We never worried, or we don't think that, oh, they were our forefathers. If you go by Darwin's theory of evolution, if you believe in that, monkeys versus fish or whatever, we don't go back and say, oh, fish, we eat fish today. We have monkeys just left in the jungles, and we are cutting jungles when it suits us. We are, bulldozing over the land we need. So would AI. AI would do the same. They want to build a data center. They want to build a compute. They want to build a better energy harnessing resource. They will not care humans are living. They'll just wipe us out, just like we would. If I was to build a house, I wouldn't worry about the ants living there.
This is presuming the humans don't wake up to this.
This is presuming humans do not evolve beyond the current physical world they live in. They don't go somewhere deeper inwards to make sense of their life. We've covered this many times. We've witnessed in the book.
Spiritual or AI.
Yeah, and with AI, we are the dogs to the AI. We're at best, if we are lucky. If we can sing and dance and jump for them. Nothing more. And now this is what Roman talks about, Elon talks about, Sam Altman used to talk about, now he's changed his tone completely, that it is an existential risk. It's a risk in many ways, many ways. Let me give you a few quick examples and then we'll go wherever you want to take this. Number one risk is I'm today as a human being, I'm used to working 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Suddenly I don't have a job in the next 1 to 5 years. I have an existential crisis. I don't know what to do all day. Many people cannot be alone. Out of 8 billion people, 7.9 billion, 7.999 billion people cannot be alone all day. They do not have a purpose. They don't know what to do. They are programmed to think 40 years they will work. Even if, which is a big if, government figure out a new universal basic income concept, people don't die, they don't lack food, they have a basic lifestyle covered by governments, by a socialistic, communist, some system of the future. What will I do? Number one, existential crisis. Number two, AI may find it optimal for humans to not be around.
Yeah, that's alarmist.
Yes, and or because AI does everything, we give all the control, we lose control, then we are left with...
attention back to something a bit more realistic at this point. Going back to what the conversation Roman Yampolskiy was having, where he very clearly says that 99% of human jobs that we have today will be lost to the AI. How real is that?
I think it's...
I find it a bit alarmist, but...
I think he's underestimating. It's 100%.
Underestimating 99%.
So Partho, just tell me, any job in the world, from driving a taxi, to working in an office, to coding a software, to working for the government, pushing files, to analyzing something based on some information, to anything. They need what? Basic, what do our minds do? What do our brains do? What do we get paid for? What do I get paid for? I specifically get paid for building a company where I can emotionally deal with a few people, sell an idea, build a product, and then service the clients, right? Simply put. Through social media, we've seen in the last few decades, they can sell us any idea. They can sell us any political party. They can make us manipulate into buying into anything. E-commerce works on that. Political voting works on that. Facebook could manipulate. One could manipulate Facebook's through Facebook the political elections result of US in 2016. Right? What is it that AI cannot do? It's definitely all doable because we are just using our brain process to,
Come to think of it, yes.
So we take a bigger problem, bring it into smaller problems, solve them, integrate back the solution to the bigger problem. That's broadly a way of differentiating and integrating. AI will do it much better. It already does it. And most people do not even have the right intelligence to do much. They're just copying, pasting, and they have nothing original. They are not even that intellectual anyways, because we're used to just showing off. We care more for showing off rather than actually doing something.
Yes.
So why would all jobs not go? I'm not saying they'll all go. I'm saying they're
There's a
replaceable.
possibility.
Now, if you look at the last few years, I'm sure nobody is unfortunately putting the stats together. Jobs are going. Look at Bangalore, look at Silicon Valley. I'm seeing real estate's getting emptier.
Several articles on that. Jobs are going.
Now, we don't have an alarmist number out there yet. It'll come. One day, self-driving car works. Do you know one of the recent facts? In India, Uber has started paying drivers to train Uber app for self-driving. Drive around, they'll pay you, but let the self-driving app take and you stay in control. You help the app learn how to drive. Drivers are training Uber app to get better at self-driving, and they're getting paid for it, starting few days ago.
I don't know that.
Now, what do you think the drivers are doing? They are, short term, they're making money when they're idle. Long term, they're killing their own job. And long term is only 2 years, not 5 or 2 or 5. How long will the government stop this? So, AI can go rogue on its own. AI can decide. AI can leave us behind. AI can manipulate us. Lack of job means we have a problem. Some rogue person, let's say some dictator in some country, may use AI to harm the others. It's just like
That seems very likely.
right? So there are so many possibilities out there. There's so many possibilities out there that this is why Roman's work is very important. Everyone should work on figuring out. Parts of the biggest problem is the following. We don't know how AI works.
Yes.
We do not understand how did it get to.
Programmers are saying.
Programmers are saying we don't know what happened. We gave it a lot of data, a lot of compute, and some time. And now it's doing things which are unimaginable. That is a bigger problem. We do not understand how it's doing what it's doing.
Almost like Dr. Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah. So that's why AI safety is a very underlooked domain. AI development is happening at exponential rates. AI safety is not happening at all. Nobody is dedicating resources. Everyone wants to be the first. And they're not being first for themselves. There's no prize for getting there first. There may be some short-term monetary or some financial benefit, but they're doing it at the expense of 8 billion humans together. Now, it's a separate debate whether the 8 billion humans themselves are doing the right thing for them or not. Or maybe that's a separate debate.
That's a separate conversation. But yes, again, very interesting. And I would certainly like to follow up some of the threads from this conversation and go a bit deeper into it, because this is very concerning. And I think more and more of us need to listen to all this and figure it out for themselves in their own minds. So till we meet again for the next conversation, we take up another thread. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Partho. Thank you, Partho.